I'm here with Sam Laidlow's super lightweight and custom Canyon Speedmax ahead of the Ironman World Championships here in Nice. Let's get into it. Okay, so first off, let's discuss the frame. Now, firstly, he's riding a large, in case anyone's interested. This is actually also Canyon's first raw frame within the triathlon remit. So that means there's no paintwork, no lacquer on there. Instead, actually, these are vinyl stickers. They've also put titanium bolts in and all sorts of other weight-saving methods. And in total, shaved a whopping 1.5 kilos off of the standard version. So I'm going to get into that a little bit further, starting on the front end. Okay, so we've got this extra long reach Cockpit, which you can also purchase, but even little things like here down on the bull horns, they've actually taken away the standard grip. They've put a little 3D printed section here underneath going into the SRAM levers, so that just adds a little bit more grip. It's kind of an ergonomic bit underneath there, and then they put a little bit of bar tape around there for comfort. All these little things just to try and save weight. Coming up into the Aerobars on the riser, this is actually a plastic cover over a little titanium riser going up through there. We actually saw that on Laura Phillips' bike, actually also here ahead of the Nice Ironman World Championships. Again, just a method to save weight. Then it's coming up into these custom Aerobars, which are actually developed and made by Canyon themselves. Again, I mean, given this is a one-piece monocoque sort of Aerobar design, they're actually incredibly thin, but stiff and lightweight. Now, what I love about these is actually the straw, which is going down into the down tube here, actually comes up the riser through the Aerobar and then pops up really neatly between his arms and actually underneath his computer mount, which is also built into the Aerobar. So it's really sleek. They've also got this mount that comes off of those Aerobars, and then he's got this kind of double-decker bottle cage setup going on. I should probably also add that Sam is running SRAM throughout, so we've got the blips on the end of the Aerobars here, really neatly set up, and then also on the brake levers. Going to move now down onto the wheels, because we've got some really interesting stuff going on here. So we've got the new Hadron wheel set, which were actually only released earlier this year. So we've got the Ultimate 850, so these are 85mm depth, and then we've got the disc wheel on the back. He's running 28mm tyres on both front and rear. These are the Grand Prix 5000 TT tubeless ready tyres, and he has got them set up tubeless. Don't know tyre pressure, but what I have just found out is that he has just had them balanced. So for those that aren't aware, wheel balancing is when you sort of add extra material into the wheels, normally some sort of alloy. On the front wheel, these have been put down into the spoke holes, and on the rear wheel, they've been put underneath kind of the tubeless tape. And what that does is minimizes or reduces any of that judge that you might get when you normally spin a wheel. Might sound like minor adjustment, but apparently Sam went out on this just today and said it was mind-blowing, the difference. And in fact, even those following him said that just coming out of the corners, he was just carrying that speed so much better. So I mean, that's super interesting. I am very excited to hear more about that, and obviously see how Sam gets on race day, because even just small margins like that on a course like this here in Nice could be quite sizable. And moving now back onto the Chainset, I'm sure many out there are wondering what the gear ratio is, and the size of this chainring. It's 58 tooth, pretty meaty, and we've got a 1036 on the back. So still actually quite good range. We're seeing quite a lot of the pros actually opting for 58. I've even heard someone on a 60, even a 62 here. So Sam hasn't got the biggest, but it's a very slick setup. As I mentioned already, he's running the SRAM Red E-Tap here. It's all ready to go. So this has all been waxed up. Jens from Canyon has been doing a very good job getting this all, well, very fast, very slick. Something that did jump out to me is this crankset. It's from a brand called Tyre, which, to be honest, I hadn't heard about before. I did a bit of Googling. Apparently they produce some of the lightest and stiffest cranks out there. So I'm going to have a little bit more of a look into those. He's running a 165mm crank length, and on the end of those he's got the Favero power pedals. You also notice, of course, he's got this chain guide here. That is all carbon fiber, super lightweight, being produced by Canyon, custom for this setup and positioning. And one final thing on the sort of chain set and setup, we've got the Ceramic Speed OSP jockey wheels, just to really smoothen out that chain line. Okay, final bits then, let's discuss the saddle and the hydration setups. We've got the Prologo Predator 01 TT saddle, which I've got a little bit too excited about a few too many times on GTN. It markets at around €12,000. It is the first Aero tested saddle. So the saddle rails are almost encapsulated within the saddles. They're completely hidden, which apparently has reduced its drag and made it more aerodynamic. We've also got this Aero sort of design going into a fairing on the back, which also doubles up as a mount for the bottle. So he's got this easy gain bottle mount, which attaches directly onto that Prologo saddle. So he's actually opted for quite a lot of hydration to be carrying here. So in theory, he's got 2 bottles behind the saddle, 2 bottles between the arms, as well as a down tube hydration bladder. I don't know whether he's actually going to start out the race with all of that hydration, because that is a lot to be carrying up the first climb. But I have also heard that he requires a lot of hydration and fuel, and actually wants to be quite self-sufficient and just get his head down. So yeah, that is a lot of fluid to be carrying around, but yeah, pretty cool. I've got to say, I've absolutely loved running through the bike today. Sam always delivers when it comes to interesting setups and pushing innovation. Let me know what you think about this bike in the comment section down below. And I think all I can say now is best of luck to Sam for race day.